Hey, welcome to Thank a Teacher podcast. I'm your host, Wendy, and along with me is my co host.
Tania.
We're here today to question each other about our favorite teachers. We decided to do this podcast to help bring awareness to the fact that there's a lot of amazing teachers out there, and not many people are being recognized for their hard work and their dedication to our tomorrow's leaders. So, Tania and I thought it would be a great idea to come together and interview different people about their favorite teachers. I am a 32-year veteran teacher of students with special needs in the states of Michigan and Florida. And Tania was one of my favorite students. So I thought, who better to share the mic with than Tania? She is getting her digital cinematography degree at Full Sail University. So I'll let her tell you a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Tania. I'm 22 years old. I live in Detroit, Michigan, and I go to school for digital cinematography. It's really the best learning experience that I could have. It's just truly amazing. I'm a mom to a wonderful boy. It's just I love life and I love, doing it with him.
Ah,
So, with us doing this podcast is a really special journey for me. Like I said, you were my teacher at school, and this is becoming a beautiful thing that we're doing. And I'm just loving it. And you're my
yay.
bestie.
We're going to have a lot of fun. And we have a lot of wonderful guests lined up that will join us, and we'll tell you about them at the end of our podcast. But for right now, I'm going to interview Tania on her favorite teachers. So are you ready, Tania?
Yes.
All right. So I know that you and I both agreed that we have had many, many teachers change our life and touch our lives for the better. So we're going to share just a few today. And were some of your favorite teachers, and what subjects did they
Um,
teach?
I've honestly been blessed to have many wonderful teachers in my life, really three that really impacted my life. My first teacher, she taught me for third and fourth grade, and she was, I believe, a math teacher, but she did, multiple things with other kids as well. So that was amazing.
What's her name?
Her name was Miss Kohler, Paula Kohler, by, officially.
She's going to be a guest on our
Yes,
show.
she's going to be a guest. So I'm ready for you guys to see
Hmm.
how that goes because she has a story to tell.
I can't wait to hear it.
My next teacher, her name is Ann Sherwood, and she will surely be on our podcast
Yep.
also.
We have Anne
She's
also
a
being on our
wonderful,
show.
and she's a fifth grade teacher. She
Okay.
teaches math. She's been at the school for a very long time, Johnson Upper Elementary.
And this
Um,
is in what city now?
and this is in I think Livonia,
Livonia,
Michigan.
Michigan. Livonia Public Schools.
Yes.
Yes.
And my third one was Mr. Heberstreet, David Heberstreet, and he went to Churchill High School and he was an ELA teacher.
Yeah.
And he also taught yearbook and many, many more things. And then my last and best was Miss Zell, and she was a teacher at Churchill High School and also my host on here.
Thank you.
And she did multiple things, helping kids, that needed extra help. And I was one of them that also got help when needed. So those are my three that, really
Oh,
changed
you
and
have
impacted my life and made me who I am today.
absolutely. Well, thank you for recognizing me as well. I
Yes,
appreciate that.
yes.
I do know all of the teachers that you spoke about.
Yes.
Kohler, Mrs. Sherwood, and Mr. Heebstreet. I was lucky enough to teach with Mr. Heebstreet at Churchill, and he was a phenomenal teacher, and he was a good friend to me as well. Miss Sherwood, her children went to school when I taught at Grant Elementary. So I
Amazing.
would see her often because I knew she was a teacher and she would drop off her kids, things like that at that school. So pretty awesome.
Yes, that is.
And well, you told us what grades you were in, so I'm not going to ask that question. But what was your initial impression of your teachers, your favorite teachers when you first met
Mm,
them?
Honestly, with Miss Kohler, she was just this fun teacher who just wasn't a teacher just about, teaching. She wanted to make sure her kids had fun while learning And that was a very important thing for me that, okay, I'm just not coming to school just to sit in a class at a very young age, just to
I love that.
just learn things. Miss Miss Ann Sherwood, she, you know, you could never just say anything down or bad, about, anything. She always kept, this flow of energy of
A lot of kindness in that
a lot of
classroom.
kindness in that classroom. So if that also was, a very, special moment for me as well. And Mr. Heberstreet,
He was pretty funny.
he was pretty funny. I think any students or any people that knew Mr. Heberstreet would say, he had a lot of life to him and, just full of it. Like it wasn't just a teacher, it was like maybe an uncle or a brother or
Mhm.
someone you just looked up to who just made sure the kids had fun, but also prepared us enough to go to college and, go
Mhm.
wherever we wanted to go after high school
He
just to make sure.
inspired you then.
Yes, very much inspired me. So, to
Awesome.
being what I am.
I love that. That's true because you were in the
Yes.
journalism
I
class,
was in the
and now
journalism
you are.
class and in, his yearbook class, and now I'm doing digital cinematography. So
That's
I
awesome.
love recording, taking pictures, recording all of that. So that's a big thing for me as well.
Yay. Well, wonderful.
And you, of course, you taught me a lot as well. There's always a good quote that you will have for me. If you see me mad or upset, Tania, go ahead and read this quote. I'm like, okay, Miss
I'm the quote
Curtis.
lady.
You're literally the quote lady. So, just always help me if I needed to go in your office to calm down and cool down. I was able to do that. So it was just this energy that you had is just so pure and loving, and you're just a loving person. And,
Well, thank
that's
you.
what I just loved about you and then being in your class and just being able to get away from whatever I was going through and to say, okay, I have somebody here
Like a
to,
safe place.
help me, a real safe place.
I love that.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you've answered number 4, but how did these teachers influence your personal or academic life? You mentioned that because of several of these teachers, you are going into journalism and photography,
Yeah.
and so you're kind of following that path.
Yeah. With Miss Kohler, I think, coming from a Detroit public school at the time, there weren't a lot of, resources or, things that, a better district would have.
Mhm.
So,
So you came from from Detroit public schools into Livonia public
yeah, my
schools.
second
Okay.
grade year. And so I was just going through a lot from, always being in the hospital because at a young age, I was diagnosed with epilepsy. So doing that, I just had a lot of thoughts in my head at a young age, like, okay, I'm not sure if I got it. I don't,
Mhm.
know if I have it. So she coming in as an early age, she, taught me a lot of courage and the
Mm,
influence, that she was having. A lot of things were going at home and, just trying to figure out my medication and certain things. So the influence that she had, always asking if I needed anything or any of that. So
sounds like she was taking the time to care about you,
yeah, for sure.
show you how to
Um,
monitor and manage
for sure,
this new
monitoring and manage
diagnosis for yourself.
at a young age, just going through that, you're
Mhm.
not really sure of what's going on. I mean, I was, only in, second grade,
Yeah,
going to third and fourth grade, kind of, you don't know where you're at in life. So
scary.
that was a big thing that, influenced me with her. It was a little differently with Miss Sherwood because, at this point I kind of knew where I was going in fifth grade. And I think at that point in upper elementary, you're about to go to middle school. So you're trying to, back again to try to figure out where you at in life.
Sure.
And she just really helped as far as getting me any work, going into, meetings with her to see how I am can't talk right now. So you don't have to redo that. Academically. So that was just a big thing for me too, just to have someone to help me with math,
Mhm.
reading, this, writing, cursive, anything that, I needed help with. She did that.
So
Um,
a good teacher always finds out
yeah, it's like,
a student who's
it's like a
struggling and how to
connection,
help 'em. Mhm.
like like a pickup. Like she helped me with this and, Miss Sherwood helped me with this. And to, kind of have teachers that can help me far as my work and things going on in my personal life and just to influence me in the way that they did, I will always care about that. So, and I think with Heaps writing, I think writing is a
Mhm.
big thing now for me. Now that I'm going to school and I have to do essays and script writing and all of that, writing is a big thing. Everyone should be able to, fully be able to write an essay and without any problems. And I feel like that's where I'm at in my life because of Hebes. He
Mhm.
was always on his kids as far as ELA.
Teaching
So the work that we did in high school, it was like we were doing it in college, and I am. So
exactly.
that helped me prepared me to be my best. And the conversations having with him, saying to me, "You got this, and you're gonna do great at things. And if you ever, need me, I'm here."
Mhm.
So that was a big thing as well. Just having somebody to go to and to push you, to really
Mhm.
push you. And sometimes I think a lot of kids need someone to really push you. Yeah, there are people who can help you, but to give you that push, it it's really needed.
For sure.
And I think that's why I was also grateful to have you as a teacher as well, because I mean, a lot of certain teachers, they'll help you to a certain point, but there's not a lot of teachers that will sit down with you and explain things with you and help you, like getting a planner or doing stuff like that.
That's
And I
right. I
think
bought you a planner,
you
didn't
bought
I?
me a planner and was on me about it because I wasn't really the best with planning things and, being on time with things. That's probably still something I'm struggling with, but it has helped me become the woman I am, even with my son. He has epilepsy, so I'm kind of
Mhm.
going through a triangle of things with life and from with me having it. So now I have to make sure I'm on time with things and I'm doing things right. And so a planner has really helped me a long way with
You'll
things.
need it as a mother and
Yes.
with any job that you do. Just learning how to plan your time, very
Yes, yes.
important. That's awesome. I'm glad that all of your teachers were able to teach you something that you needed and that you've carried on and continue in this lifetime because that's why we're here, right?
Right.
And one of the questions here, because you definitely answered number 5, were there any challenges you faced that this teacher helped you overcome? And I do think that for you, being a student with epilepsy, there are times when you had to miss school. So it's important for you to have someone who is caring enough to help you make up the work and to be there to reteach the assignments because your teachers weren't teaching it anymore. They've
Yeah.
moved on, right? So let's see. How about this one? Did any of your teachers have any unique strategies for engaging their students, keeping them focused?
With Miss Kohler, like, she would have, like, a bucket of, like, stress balls or little
Fidgets? Mm-hmm.
fidgets to help, her kids out because there were a lot of kids in the class that, had a lot of behavior issues.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Kohler, she kept her kids for 2 years, for 3rd and 4th grade.
That's very cool.
So she knew her kids and she knew exactly what they wanted. So
Mhm.
with this kid, she might bring in a rubber basketball because she know this kids like basketballs.
Mhm.
Or, she would tell the kid, okay, I'm gonna, give some candy out. They know that's how she would do her kids.
Mhm.
So she was just always a teacher who brought things from home to keep her kids engaged, little stress balls, little fidgets and stuff. And, we always knew because we were having a fun Friday on Friday. So we knew, okay, you guys have something coming up.
Mhm.
You we're having a reward out of, all the hard work that we've doing.
That's
So
right. You were rewarded for your hard work.
yeah.
That's
Um
awesome.
Miss Sherwood, I really can't really remember, but I know that she will always have certain clips or things like she would show us like a video about gratitude
That's
or,
awesome.
certain things like that. And I think those videos are her just speaking generally. She has a big heart. And I think her words were more of a thing than, anything rather than having gadgets or something. Like she would have stuff like that we could bring a blanket in to make us more comfortable, or
Mhm.
if we had like a special jacket or something, just anything to make her kids comfortable. So that, was a big thing. Heaves, I don't really know. Like Mr. Heaves, he was the entertainment, you know.
He just led the class.
Led the
So
class and let us kinda
everybody was engaged at
do
all
what we
times.
wanted to do in a way. Like, it never felt like a classroom in
Mm,
there. It always felt like, "Okay, I'm at home." He
mm,
never, like, made us feel like we had to just I mean, he got serious at times when it came to certain stuff, but as
mhm.
far
Very
as
laid back.
anything, like, we had stuff in the classroom that we could read and play with, and he
Mhm.
had chess boards, like, kids would play chess, or the kids would start debating and singing or, starting stuff, or he would play the flute and stuff at 7 in the morning. It was just never we never had to have anything to kinda distract us or have something in a class to keep
Yeah,
us going because he kept us
it
going.
was a good
It
atmosphere.
was a good
Mhm.
atmosphere to where everyone felt comfortable and everyone felt loved and they were coming to a fun class to where you can enjoy yourself. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can see that because I co-taught in his room the year after you left.
Okay, well,
So I was able to be in there a lot,
yeah.
and that's when him and I became a lot better friends. So, what life lessons did you learn from your teachers that you still carry with you today?
Um, wow, that's a great question. I think like even all of them combined,
Maybe just how
I
you
like that
carry
is I
yourself and
carry myself.
yeah, you persevere, you don't give up.
Yeah, I don't give up. I think I'm now able to say what's on my mind. Those teachers have taught me a lot about speaking up, standing up for
Mm,
myself, and I think I have such a big heart from a lot of them,
mhm.
and I get, my funness, from Mr. Heber Street. He passed November, I think 21st of 2024, I
I think
believe.
so. Mhm,
And I know, that kinda hurt me a lot, because I did reach out and I was supposed to come back and visit.
mhm.
But, at that moment with him, I think I've reflected so much with life with all my teachers and how big of an impact that teachers can cause in my life. And I think now even how I am as a mother and like being around kids and being around people and my teachers, period, excuse me, it has taught me how to manage money. It has taught me to enter certain conversations. It has taught me about certain business ventures of things.
Awesome.
To have, a lot more respect for people because teachers just aren't just teachers, they're humans. So
Mhm,
I think with that, it just
I
taught me a
love
lot of
that.
respect and, everybody's just not perfect. So that's a big thing that I think I've learned with all my teachers and including you. Every day goes on but
Mhm,
you still put a smile on your face. And I think that's one
mhm.
thing that I try to do every day. And I try to be the best person that I am because of you guys and plus my parents, of course, and
Of course.
family and all of that good stuff. But and going to school, it teaches you structure.
Mhm.
And so a lot of that I have had in my life, a lot of structure, a lot of, critical thinking and just all of it, all the
It's
essential
wonderful.
things I think a person has in life, far as going out, being respectful, having manners with certain stuff. You learn those things from your
Life
teachers.
skills, yes.
It's life skills.
Mhm.
And I've just been really blessed to have some amazing people in my life and amazing teachers in my life to, help me go the right way.
That's why I picked you because I know you
Yes.
appreciate a good teacher.
Yes, I've never, never liked it when kids disrespected teachers. And I've,
Mhm.
just always been that type of person and been a respectful person. I don't think to my knowledge, gave any teachers a hard time. 'Cause I've just, why not just go to school and just be respectful and go about your day?
It's about
Yeah.
building a
Yeah.
relationship
It's
too with
about
your teachers.
building
You get things done better that way when you
for
work
sure,
together.
especially when you have a close relationship with them.
Mhm.
And I think I've had.
Well, I know you can talk to me anytime. I know you can talk to Miss Sherwood and Mrs. Kohler, but if you could say one thing to Mr. Heaves right now, what would it be?
I think I would tell him, "Thank you for all the fun and, all the times you pushed me," and I might have got mad and "Why is he doing this?" Or, "What's the reason for it?"
Mm,
And I realize that now, just to have fun with things, live life, do everything while you can, travel more. He traveled a lot.
mhm.
Everybody knew Mr. Heaps, and, I really hope this warms his heart 'cause, I really miss him truly and dearly, and, he has helped me applying for colleges, trying to figure out certain stuff when I really didn't know where I wanted to go, and I don't think if I didn't have that yearbook class, I probably wouldn't have been doing what I was doing because there was a lot of pushing in that class to where, okay, so let me see if you can do something, or I'll go say, "Hey, Mr. Heaps, okay, we got one more page we got to do. I can do 500. I can get 500 pictures from kids."
Mhm.
He'd be like, "You're not gonna do it," and then I'll do it, and he'd be like, "I know you would do it."
He challenged
I
you.
just see him, he'll start laughing and stuff. Like he was just a true comedian.
Mm.
And so I just want you to know that, I'm doing this part of for you and to honor you because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You were just a great man overall. If we had to come to you for advice, we could go to him about a boy problem we had and he would sit there and just talk to us like it would go from like, is this my teacher or is this, like a
Your
friend?
friend. Mhm.
And so I just want to thank you for that. And it won't be another Heaves like you. So
Mhm.
I am proud to be where I'm at and I'm going to do my best and I'm going to pursue this dream and honor you, man.
I love
So
that. He always said every time I walked in that room, he would just say my name really
just long.
loudly and just always made me feel welcome. So, great introductions. So he definitely deserves your shout out today.
He definitely does.
I love that. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience now as a new podcast host? Anything
Yes,
you're excited about in life before and how people can contact you? You have a few things going on, a couple little businesses
yes,
that you're
yes,
trying to
yes.
start. So tell us a little bit about you there.
Well, as you guys know, I am in school for digital cinematography. So I will be maybe coming out with like a YouTube channel or something like that, a family channel, because I have a 1-year-old son. His name is Mazian. He's my world. So
Mhm.
thinking about coming out with a family channel. Me and my boyfriend, we've been together for 5 years. So we're going to be doing that, trying to get into that. I have a channel called Mom Baddies. Like I said, being a mom was just very different for me. You
Mhm.
know, I give credit to all the mothers out there
Best
and
job in the world, by the way.
best job in the world. Endless nights, all those endless nights cries, none of those matter because I love them. So I wanted to create it a safe space for other new moms and women. It could be, women who have older children or, new moms, single moms, dads who are doing this by themselves, grandparents. Like it's really for just a whole community to where I'm dropping videos on maybe how to change a diaper
That's
or,
so cute.
uh, you
Is that
know,
your baddie moms?
yeah, Betty moms, where they can go on there to get information about postpartum. A lot of stuff happens to the body and to the mindset after you have a child. And a lot of men and women don't know that. So it's important that you and your partner knows what's going through the mom's mind and your baby's body as well. So that's a very big thing for me as well. Another thing, like I said, I'm epileptic. I
Mhm.
have epilepsy. My son does too. So I want to bring more awareness to that because that's a big thing. A lot goes on when you're having these seizures and stuff, and when you're in the hospital and getting tested. So I want to bring more awareness to that, just as many as all the other
Absolutely.
awarenesses. So I think it's important that people get more educated on epilepsy and how we can get in a better position than we're in. There's a lot of kids who can't get certain medicines because medicines are,
Oh,
canceled out in
yeah.
cost. So I
Access to medicine. Yeah.
want to do that as well. And then more that's coming. My grandmothers, I know they will be very proud of me.
Oh,
We sat and watched TV, both of them. My grandmother on my mom's side, she passed from COPD. So I think that's also a big thing that people need to know about what goes on with that. How
hmm,
can we stop it? How can we bring more awareness to it? It's something that I have to do for her because I know that she will be proud of me and the things that I'm doing. And then my grandmother on my dad's side, she passed away from
wow.
cancer. So it's a whole thing with that eye. That's why I wear pink the way I do. And, I just try to do everything to push out their awarenesses because I know that they will be here shouting and prancing for me. So, I love them. They're those two women Cecilia and Darlene Patterson and Cecilia Mitchell. They are some two strong women that have got me here. And so now with this podcast, me and my grandma always watch, podcasts, church podcasts, and, podcasts generally from both of them. They just like people talking. They were very
Oh,
two talkative women. So
yeah,
I got where I got from them.
that's
And so
awesome.
now with us doing this podcast, it's very important to me. And I think also the reason why I chose it with you, because I didn't want to be sit down with someone that's, not mature enough and don't know. So I'm glad that I can
Look
do
at
it with
us.
you. And so
Yeah.
this
And
is
I
where
like
I'm
pink
at.
too, Tania.
Yes.
We both like pink.
Girls wear pink. So now,
Awesome. Well, you are amazing, and I am very, very happy that you are here with me today.
thank you. I'm glad to
And
be here.
and we have not seen each other in a few years because I moved to Florida and don't
Sad.
teach in Michigan anymore, but back in town to do this podcast, and now it's my turn.
Yes, and I will be coming to visit in the summer. Yes, I will be coming to visit in the summer to spend some more time with you too.
Looking
But
forward to that.
it's now to talk about you. So, who was your favorite teacher and what subject did they teach?
Okay, so I had many, and my first teachers were my parents,
Wow.
Patricia and John Zell. My mother always read to me, and my parents took us on trips. So all the traveling we did, I really felt like taught me a lot. And I really feel like when my mom sat with me and I asked her questions, she would just say, "Where do you want to go today?" And we would pull out an encyclopedia. That's me dating myself. And so they both taught, and my mother was an administrator. She was a principal, but they taught in Miami-Dade schools.
Okay,
So
wow,
in
that's
Miami.
great.
And then I had an amazing kindergarten teacher. Her name is Ellen Cornfield, and that was at Brentwood Elementary School. And she found my little white sweater when I lost it, and I was really sad. So her kindness and her sweetness have really touched my heart. And we grew up being close to her and her family. So that was my mom's best friend over
Oh,
time. Yeah, so that was really
amazing.
sweet. Then I had Mrs. Baker for first grade. She was an absolutely amazing teacher as well. I remember her because had a sleepover for us at night, and it was like we got to sleep in the school, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Her husband was a magician, and he did a magic show for us. We did put on a circus as a class, and I got to be the lion, and I thought that was a big deal because I don't know, the lion's pretty cool. So she made me feel special. And then moving forward to fifth grade, Mrs. Hogan.
Okay.
Mrs. Hogan honored me as a safety patrol person, and she also asked me to go to the teacher's lounge and get her coffee every day. So she brought out my responsible side. She's noticed that I was very responsible and could be trusted.
That had to mean a lot for you at that age.
It did, for sure. Then in sixth grade, I had Mrs. Barnett. See, I have a lot of great teachers. Mrs. Barnett, she was my sixth grade ELA teacher, but she was also my eighth grade journalism teacher.
Oh, wow.
And she was amazing. I was the photographer for our yearbook, and I really got into taking pictures. And I'm still friends with a lot of the kids today that I pulled out of class for eighth grade journalism, and they're all in the yearbook. And so we're all friends today, and we talk about how, remember when I got to pull you out of class? So my final favorite teacher is Dr. Richard Goodwin, and he was a professor of mine at Broward Community College in Florida, and he was a professor of salesmanship. He was also the lead DECA teacher, and so he honored me as, was I a secretary of DECA, and he wanted me to be become a president of DECA. And I said, well, I really don't think I'm going to stay here. I am going to be transferring to University of Florida. And he said, I will write you a recommendation letter. And he was just the nicest person. He took me for lunch and he just made sure that I knew what my strengths were and made me feel like I had a positive future. So that was my favorite teachers that just
Wow.
really kind of led me to be a teacher, as
So
I
he was
thought.
just that teacher that was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do what you need to do to be a better student. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Yeah. It was really awesome. So I probably answered a lot of your questions.
Yeah. So what was like your first impression of them, like when you saw them? Like,
Miss Cornfield, I just adored her. My parents, as their daughter, my first impressions were different because I lived with them.
yeah.
But Miss Cornfield, I just thought she was just the sweetest person, and I wanted to know her and be a part of her life. And she never had any little girls, but she always considered me like one of her daughters.
I know you can't really get impression from your parents, but did you kind of think like being a teacher was cool at that moment?
Yes, I loved watching my mom teach, and I would go to school with my father when he taught also. But my mom was a wonderful teacher, and she became an assistant principal and a principal, and everybody just looked up to her. She knew her job, and she was great at it.
Right. Great.
I think Mrs. Cornfield became Teacher of the Year for Miami-Dade at one point, so that
Wow.
was
So she
kind of
was that girl
she was
teacher.
that good,
She was
yeah.
that.
And then Mrs. Baker was the teacher that I thought about for many, many years of my life. Like, if I could go back and thank a teacher, I would love to thank Mrs. Baker.
Okay.
But I never found her, and I never saw her again, and I never got to tell her thank you.
Okay. With that being said, like, are there some memories that you just enjoyed with them, or
Yeah, one
or
thing I
service?
remember from Mrs. Baker too is she put a piece of meat in a Coca-Cola bottle and said, "Watch this deteriorate." And so over time, the meat just disintegrated. It just disappeared. And we all it just influenced us to not want to drink too much Coke in our life because we realized that it affects your stomach. So
Okay.
that was really interesting. But just to be a fun teacher that provides a lot of fun experiences. And that's what I always wanted to do as a teacher. So when you met me, I was a support teacher, and it's different than when you're a So I've held many different roles in my experience, but
Yes.
I have taught kindergarten through 12th grade students with all different needs and many, many, many different disabilities, health concerns. So with 32 years of experience in that realm, I've seen a lot.
Great. That's
And I've also worked with many wonderful teachers that weren't my teachers, but they became teachers to me because I was working with them. You know what I mean?
So how did you think that these teachers like impacted your life or impacted your academic career or life
I would
period?
I would say that they've impacted me because they showed me skills in myself that I may not have been able to see. They opened my eyes to like, wow, I'm good at that. I didn't realize that, like the journalism part.
Yeah.
But I always knew, that I was responsible, but it was still nice to hear it.
Yeah.
When you hear it from people.
It's very needed.
Yeah. And but Richard Goodwin, I would say he made me believe in myself that I could go after my dreams.
So what were like the challenges that you faced with any of these teachers? Like you said that he made you go towards things that, you didn't think you could.
I was very shy when I was younger, and I didn't really put myself out there too much
Okay.
because being shy kind of held me back. It made me not go after things that I think, like, if I didn't want to try out for a club or a sport or something like that
Yeah.
because I thought, oh, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Whereas really leading towards just an associate's degree after high school. And I ended up graduating from the University of Florida with high honors, and it was just something I felt really proud of myself for. So, but Richard Goodwin was my teacher at the time. He was in his 60s, and he just saw something good in me and saw that I was a leader, I think.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, thank you for showing me that.
Right.
Because now I have the confidence to go do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Did these teachers have like any unique strategies or things to engage or teaching students
Hmm.
anything like far as to keep them in
I think the
together?
fact that I liked them made me want to work hard for them.
Okay.
When you like your teachers, you want to work hard for them.
So it wasn't necessarily the things that they had in their class. It was just how they, taught you.
When I was in school, things were different. We didn't have to be as engaged. Well, we were engaged naturally. We were naturally curious, I think, back then,
Yeah.
and really tuned in. Whereas now, teachers have to do like a dog and pony show just to keep
Yeah,
kids
or a
on task.
technology type of thing.
Yeah. Whereas before we were just little sponges. We just wanted to learn. And I didn't have a trouble engaging in kindergarten or first grade or fifth grade or sixth grade. I feel like I liked my teachers and I wanted to work hard for them. So,
That's amazing though, to be able
yeah,
to, just go into class and say, "Okay, well, we already got focus. We don't need this, or that. It's already kinda there."
for the most part, that's what I remember as a student. I
Yeah,
don't remember
just
there being a
not
lot
being
of
able.
behavior challenges in our classrooms and compared to what there is today.
Great. What life lessons did you learn from any of these teachers that you kinda still carry with you today?
Perseverance. I'm somebody who usually doesn't give up. And I would say courage, also responsibility.
Totally.
As a teacher, you have to take classes and keep up with your certification, and you have to continue, you know, taking professional development and courses and college classes just to make sure that you are in line with all the new current trends in education. So
Right.
always training. But like I said, I think my parents too, as those teachers, both of my parents retired from Miami-Dade schools. So they definitely also had the perseverance, and they were very brave for doing what they did.
Mm. If you could say one thing to any of your teachers or one teacher now, what would it be?
I think I would still love to go back and thank all of them and just say, thank you so much for just loving me and caring for me as a young kid, because I could feel that they went above the curriculum to show kindness. And thank you for making me feel special and for finding, those little sparks in me like I can now do for other students.
That's
So,
amazing. Is there anything else you would like to share about this experience or anything with the audience?
I would just like to say, I think as a teacher myself and working with other teachers, that we work really hard, and the job isn't just teaching alone. It's a lot of other tasks that we are expected to do. So I just want everybody to know, just take the time to say thank you, show some kindness, write a card, do something nice, to show that you care, and to realize that your teachers are human beings as well and they have lives. And
Yes.
when the more you suck out of them, it can affect their morale. So no one's perfect. And, to realize that everybody's just here to try to help. So if you need something from anybody, make sure you ask nicely. But in the end, I just want teachers to be treated with a little bit more respect
Yeah, totally.
and people to realize that they're working really hard and they deserve a little shout out here and there.
Yeah,
So
totally.
we are going to put together a wonderful podcast, you and I. We have a lot of wonderful guests lined up. I'd like to read you a list of our upcoming guests that we have coming on to Thank a Teacher podcast. We're very, very excited to
Very excited.
welcome. Ready? We have Garrett McDonald, Jacqueline McCracken Hauk, Scott Isley. We have Siddharth Madhavan, Morgan Jewell, Ann Sherwood, Justin Pickens, Grace Stern, Jay Wamstead, Paula Kohler, Corey Sanders, the Teacher Monday crew, one of my friends, David Winter, and Kelsey Kohler. So far, those are our meet and greet guests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really great guest. And, teachers, it's all different types of people, kindergarten teachers, high school teachers,
Mhm.
principals, all these different roles that these teachers have. And even the regular people we have a comedian coming on,
Mhm.
all these roles. It's just,
Yeah,
it's the same.
anybody can thank a teacher. You do not have to be a
Anybody
teacher to
can
thank a
thank a
teacher.
teacher. You do not have to be a teacher to send out a shout out or say thank you. You could just be who you are.
Yeah,
No?
if you want to be a guest on our Thank a Teacher podcast, all we ask is that you go to our website and you can find a link to an email to send us an email and let us know that you're interested. And we will schedule a meet and greet. It's about 15-20 minutes of us just getting to know you a little bit. And we will invite you to schedule a podcast so you can
Yes.
thank one of your special teachers or a list of 7 or 8 like me.
It might just be me one day. I think you also have inspired me to become a teacher one day.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
I'm thinking about it because you've put a lot of thought in my head, and a lot of these other amazing teachers that we're having on our podcast have really have. So I'm excited
You
about that
never know.
too. All this advice, I think we'll both, or me too, will be
Mm,
gaining from all of this.
for sure.
I think this is a great thing that we're doing, and you guys have to get tuned in. It's going to be an amazing journey that we're about to start.
Absolutely. We're really excited. And we are going to make sure that we stream on, we have a Spotify, a YouTube,
Yes.
our website. We're working on getting
TikTok together. So you guys got to
TikTok.
go follow us on that too.
Yep. And follow us on Instagram as well. And it's just as easy as searching Thank a Teacher because we're
Literally,
Thank a
thank a
Teacher
teacher.
on everything. So if you have any favorite teachers to thank out there, please, 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 please be sure to reach out to us. And soon we're going to have a shout out link on our website as well, to where at the end of every podcast session, even if you don't want to be a guest, Tania will state your teacher's name, your name, where you're from, and why you think that teacher is awesome.
Mhm.
So
And don't be
please join
scared to put
us.
anything down. Just say how you feel or
Hmm.
whatever.
The better,
Always
the more the
natural
better.
and better.
Yeah, the more the better,
The
right?
more the better.
We need to know because it's really hard for us to keep going, especially this time of the year.
Yes, yes.
And I know that many teachers are looking forward to summer break. And by the time this
Comes
streams,
out.
it will be summer break for me. So, well, I think that wraps up our first
Yes.
podcast session. What do you think?
I think that's great. We done really good today.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yes. And thank you so much. And Tania, it was always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure
So
with you
happy to
too.
see you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys.